Welcome to Damn Good Marketing Podcast, where we ditch the fluff, cut the BS, and get real about what actually takes to market your business like a freaking pro. I'm your host, Shelby Clement, Louisiana native, two-time boy mom, and the founder of Shelby Clement Marketing, a social media agency built for small-town entrepreneurs with big-ass dreams. I left corporate where I was underpaid and underestimated, built a multi-six-figure business from the ground up, launched a sold-out marketing event, and created this podcast to give you the truth behind growing a brand online without losing your mind or your values. This is for the ones who are tired of spinning their wheels, ready to show the hell up, and finally market with confidence, clarity, and consistency. So if you're ready to grow, get bold, and to build a brand that actually turns heads and opens doors, let's do the damn thing. This episode is brought to you by the Fussell Group Insurance Advisors, where they offer products that provide peace of mind by protecting your health, wealth, and future. They're not just here to help you enroll, they're here to educate, support, and stand by you every step of the way. Whether it's Medicare, health insurance, or life coverage, their local licensed agents are committed to serving you with compassion and expertise. Visit fgiala.com or call 985-317-5184 to speak with someone that you can trust. The Fussell Group, the gold standard of insurance. Welcome back to Damn Good Marketing Podcast. I have Lauren Navarre here, guys.
It's me. That is me.
Okay, I'm like, our energy level is going to be so good, I think.
It's so high.
Okay.
I am. I'm excited.
We've known each other for 3 years. I just did the math while I was peeing in the
That's
bathroom.
it?
That's it. I feel like I've known you forever. Yeah, because like, think
I was
about...
going to give you a solid 5.
No, I haven't been in business in 5 years. I've only been 4, and I've only lived in Covington for 3, so I did the backwards math, right?
I'll take it.
Because I came in a long time ago.
You did.
And
whole other firm, whole other business. And also was doing like free speaking events. Like I was partnering with you guys where y'all would give back to like the real estate agents, mortgage lenders. That's kind of how people got to know me around here because like y'all. You helped add value. Thank you.
Thanks. And then y'all launched a badass freaking business 2 years ago.
Yeah, that was the plan.
2 years?
A little over 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, if you don't know, she's one of the co-founders of Arena Collective.
I am.
Can you give them, the people that may not know you, which you should know her, but if they don't know you, because you've spoken to,
you know me, screw you. No, I'm just kidding.
2 years in a row and have literally put fire in people's ass.
Yes.
Give us a little bit of insight on what Arena is. What do you do?
We're everything. No, I'm kidding. So we created the collective so that we could best support our local community and our local ecosystem, right? So our main focus is we're lawyers, so we can do all those wonderful legal things through our law firm. And then our second wholly owned company is our title company. So if you were to boil everything down into what we do into simple terms, it's real estate and business. Very simple. If it touches real estate, if it touches business, we can help you do it. We have another wholly owned company, which is our escrow company. And then my favorite part about the collective is to find really awesome people that are good at what they do, but they have no idea how to run a freaking business, right? And we support them on the whole operation side and then train them how to become an entrepreneur and how to become a leader. Yes. And that joy of watching, whether it's these young people or these inexperienced people that maybe not always young, but like finally took the chance on themselves to truly add value to the community and offer a service that everybody needs. Like that's the beauty of helping that family grow. So Lettuce Media, what's doing this, like that's our first baby. And like watching Jonah and Mal and now Zach grow and their families be supported by, you know, this animal that we're creating, like that gives me energy every freaking day.
So cool. So would you... I can't even ask this seriously. Would you say that you're like sweet, like going and not really direct?
No.
I'm like, how do you tell how it is? Like it's a little rough around the edges. I love it.
So I'll use this example. Like I go through the exercise a lot with people creating values for their business, and people like to use family.
Okay. Ooh,
and I'm like,
good one. Yes. I feel like I know where you're going.
Would you freaking fire your family? And they're like, it's my family. What would I do? Like, I view love as you're not contributing what you need to contribute, or we are setting you up for failure and you are not succeeding. Like, being honest with people is love. And so if people want to call that direct, if they want to call that intense, then yeah, that's what I am. I love people with that level of intensity.
So you would.
So I think I'm like, you know,
I love that you're direct,
but I am very direct.
Well, people don't hire you for you to tell them exactly what they want to hear.
Oh, well, some do. They just don't get it.
So in those cases, what do you do?
I'm me. I mean, I'm not, the value that I add is not going to change by the person, right? I mean, they're going to get my honest opinion at every turn. And if that's something that needs to put them in their place, then that's the benefit that they're going to get. I'm going to be that good of a friend to put them in their place.
Yeah. So if you don't know Lauren, we're going to go back a little bit. So I know a little bit about you, obviously, clearly.
3 whole years.
3 whole years. I feel like I've known you for like a decade.
It's like when we were in diapers.
Hey, we were like high school sweethearts. Anyway, you were like bred into the world of entrepreneurship. Like both of your parents are entrepreneurs, correct?
Yeah.
You now have 2 daughters.
I do.
And you have an amazing husband.
Yeah.
Okay. And now she's building a badass business and also helping other business owners. And I remember, y'all, she was on my podcast. I don't even know, like a year. No, 2 years. Okay.
Ago.
Yeah. And I remember asking you this question. And I remember okay, there's so much I want to tell everyone. Okay. Are we here for a long time or a good time? Both? Okay. You told me, I was like stressed because I was about to start traveling for work. And I was like, I feel mom guilt in leaving my boys. And you looked me dead in the face and you were like, but you're teaching your boys what a strong woman is and like chasing her dreams and building her legacy. And like, if people that are listening to this, they're moms, and you wanted to talk to the girl last year from DGML that stood up and started crying. And can you elaborate a little bit on like women building businesses and like it's still okay for you to go live out your dream and build a legacy?
Yeah, always and every day. That's a conversation that I'm willing to have. I get frustrated because I think that you go one or two ways. People either think something's wrong with me and I'm not built for this because I feel mom guilt. Well, it's natural, right? That just makes you a normal human, a normal female, but like we were made to do incredible things, right? And then there's this other part where I see groups of women that just want to get together and cry about it. And that pisses me off too.
I don't have time for that.
You don't have time for it. And like, let it out by all means, live your emotion, but have the people there that are supporting you and say, all right, now what next? Right? And you know, my purpose of talking to you about it is when you envision a happy life for your son, like, do you envision that he's going somewhere and just having someone care for him? Maybe, and maybe that's what he chooses. But what if he, you know, this incredible woman catches his eye and he's intimidated by her because he grew up in an environment where he didn't see what a strong woman was, right? No, you want him to be able to take advantage of whatever opportunity presents itself. And I went through that for a period of time where I know what I'm called to do. So like, I'm going to continue on my path, but that doesn't mean that I didn't feel the guilt and I didn't question myself. But I wound up looking around and realizing that I'm part of a bigger picture, right? I'm humble enough to know that I'm not the only person raising my child. And so I'm just one of the examples that my daughters see. They see that this is an option that you can go out and build whatever you want to build. You know, go to grad school if you want to go to grad school. But I also have my sister-in-law who, again, got her doctorate degree as well, but works part-time. And then I have another person that lives down my street and she's an amazing stay-at-home mom. So like all these people are part of the village to where I hope my daughters are growing up saying, look at all these women that are being who they want to be.
Yeah.
And I'll have the choice to be who I want to be.
Yeah.
And so without that, without you being that force, if you will, or showing them what that hard work and determination looks like, they wouldn't have that example. Yeah. So I'm just playing my part of a much bigger picture.
Right. And I know you do business coaching and like consulting, and this is not a plug, or it is. I don't care either way, because I'm about to hire them. Hey, because they're about to help me with something we're about to talk about. But how important is it to invest in people around you that have been there, done that, or that are solid to say, like, yes, you can feel your feelings, but it's time to get the hell up because you have in you this legacy and purpose that you want to build? Can you feel on that?
No, I think it's everything. I mean, no matter what presentation I'm giving, what, consult I'm having, I am always ending it with some form of mindset. Now, that mindset reset happens different for everybody. Mm-hmm. If you're an externally motivated person, then you need a village around you that is pushing you and lifting you up and saying what's next and digging your ass out of that hole. If you're internally motivated, then you need to know your triggers really well and say, I need that podcast, I need that book, I need that consistency in my schedule that's going to keep me on track. But at the end of the day, my little thing that I like to say is, like, for small businesses, you are your business. So if your mind isn't right, your business is not going to be right. And so part of having those people that support you, that is for those externally motivated people that need that love and support. And then, I study the DISC assessment a lot. We use it as a tool for leadership development, your own personal development, but we also use it as a tool for how we put people in the right seats in businesses and set them up for success, right? And having that tool for awareness and understanding of knowing where you're internally motivated or externally motivated is going to help you understand what you need and who you need around you to fill those gaps.
Yeah. Oh my God. I almost spilled my champagne.
Don't do that yet. We're not drunk yet.
2 sips. Okay, here we go. I asked Instagram for some questions.
Okay.
They're kind of like crazy. I'm really not. They're not
Well,
crazy.
I'm old, and my market's on Facebook because right here. But
Well,
like,
shit, but
sure,
I did ask Facebook, but your market didn't ask any questions. So we're going to
we're old. We were like, I ain't got time for
Okay. Here we go.
Yeah.
So many businesses wait until something goes wrong to talk to someone like you. What do you wish more people knew early on when they're building a business?
No, call first. No, I'm kidding. I mean, unfortunately, the nature of our business is even if they came to us first and we gave them advice, they're going to do something stupid to screw it up and we're going to be fixing it anyway. But I love that about entrepreneurs. Like, those are the people willing to take risk. And I don't sleep on the fact that sometimes the people who are winning are the people that take action first. And so I'm not going to be mad at them if they come to me after the fact. But there's little things like branding that are hugely important. So like if you are running a business and you sell products, and you want to come to us later after you ordered all the bottles that your cosmetics are going to go into, and then be like, okay, now let's go through the trademark process, and then all of a sudden we have to repackage all of your bottles, that's a challenge, right? And so I think it's unique for every type of business.
Mm-hmm.
I would love for people to come to us, on the front end, because not only can we help them with the legal setup of, a strategy standpoint of what type of, entity should you have? How are you going to structure your partnership relationship? Because that can really help you save money from when you're getting a business divorce later, right? If and when that happens. But also, we like to hold people's hands and actually build the business with them, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is that operating system. This is that system of accountability. And again, using that DISC assessment to say, like, you're incredible at this service or you're incredible at delivering this product, but you lack the self-awareness to know that you need a partner that's going to fill this gap. Or you don't like to have hard conversations, so you're terrible at accountability. How can we put something into your system that's going to support that and support you? Because at the end of the day, a beauty behind a business owner is they can push themselves to do things, right, over and over again for a period of time, but it's never sustainable long term. And also, if you're a serial entrepreneur, you get distracted and you move on to something else anyway, right? And so you have to build an operating system that's sustainable to your style of leadership and your style of business. That's what I love doing.
So literally, we had this conversation this morning in a networking group this morning, and a lot of business owners that continue to go on the table. How important is it to have an integrator in your business? Because like if you're an entrepreneur, you're a visionary and you're not necessarily good at the actual implementation of that. How important is it to have a freaking integrator?
So like for people that don't know, that's traction language, right?
Yeah.
I absolutely love the book Traction. I think it's a really easy read for people to pick up if they have no idea where to get started, but they want to start a business. It's just very easy, very helpful. Again, you don't have to use that language because that's, same business principles, across for forever, right? But they do a nice job of kind of putting it. So that integrator role is just the person that is truly taking the vision and bringing it to fruition. And so it's incredibly important, but I don't ever discount the fact that sometimes the visionary can also be the person that can do the implementation.
Mm-hmm.
I would say oftentimes it's not. Right? Oftentimes when you have somebody that's a big thinker that gets distracted very easily, they want to do 10 things at once, they do need somebody to support them. So that level of organization, that willingness to dive in and have the hard conversations, the need for accountability, I mean, that is what lends to success, right? I watch a lot of people that will have success, if you will, but it's not scalable. And for some, that's all they want in life. And so, amen, let them have it, right? You see a lot of mom and pop businesses that way. But then when you find the person that's like, no, I want to take this to the next level, that's when you need that partnership.
Oh, listen to her. And like people, okay, I guess here's my next question before I read another question.
I just want to touch on that. Like, that's like the new trend. Everyone's like I'm the visionary. I can take all this off my plate and I'm going to find this integrator and then I'm just going to roll and it's going to be amazing. Like,
okay, let's paint the picture.
Figure it out.
Let's do me as an example.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have a great, Elena. So she's helping integrate everything into SEM. She's kind of taking it under her wing. She's basically running it for me. And we're about to move into an acquisition process of something that I want to acquire, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. There's things that I need to get fully under control and a lot of things off of my plate in order to fully focus on that. That is right. Would that be the perfect example of maybe you need an assistant, maybe you need another integrator? What would you say there?
I think it's part of growing as a leader, right? And really again, diving into your own self-awareness to be able to allocate what you're going to leverage. So there's an exercise that I make people go through, and it's the matrices of it's starting with what you're really good at and what you like doing, all the way down to what you're not good at and you don't like doing. Once you figure out that exercise, which I think is hilarious, because, you know, you can walk down the street and ask somebody, do you know what your job is? And they're like, yeah, I know what my freaking job is. I'm like, okay, put it on paper and do this exercise for me. And they'll be like, oh crap. Right? It takes them like a week to really think about it, right? Or to run through everything that they do, all the hats that they wear.
Yes.
But that's when you're making that decision, right? Whether you need that integrator. And sometimes that integrator is not the solution. Maybe it's you have the integrator, but that integrator now needs leverage. So you now need a leadership board and you're, you know, building out those aspects of your company. Everybody's going to have some element of marketing, which you have to separate, you know, into branding, into sales being two different things. Everybody's going to have some element of operations. That's when the widget that we're making or the service that you're offering, your integrator can't do all of that at all times, right? And then there's the financial element. That is the biggest gap that people miss entirely, is how they're managing their finances. But again, if you have a system of accountability and you're following your metrics on a weekly basis, it solves that problem for you. All of a sudden you go through, you know, this whole thing, mindset switch of like, finances are scary, to, oh my gosh, I can forecast what's happening in my business.
Yes.
Because I reverse engineered my goals and I track them on a weekly basis. So I just think there's elements that you can boil down that are simple, easy to follow. Sometimes people's not the answer. Sometimes systems are the answer. Sometimes it's leverage for your integrator. Sometimes your integrator can support it all. So, you know, again, I just don't like to put it in one small box, because entrepreneurs come to you in all different packages.
Oh my God, now my brain's like, well, shit. Not really well,
No,
shit.
you're on the right path.
Honestly, like I've taken what I've learned from you, Becky, even like Jared, like in writing down everything that I do. And I'm like, okay, this doesn't bring me money doing this, and I can't spend more time doing this. Like it's something that I could pass off to an assistant.
Absolutely.
Or whatever. And like even the conversation I had earlier in our networking group, so many people were so scared to hire. Like I was like, who is your bookkeeper? Who's watching your financials?
Yeah.
The fact that you need to sit there and learn how to do this, that's time, and time is money. So like,
Absolutely.
I think it's so important to invest in the places that you don't want to learn. I want nothing to do with that. I want someone to look at my finances. I want them to meet with me once a month, tell me what my profit margins are,
Right.
Tell me what I actually can afford, tell me what I need to be doing and not doing. And like, that's like your biggest indicators. Like if you're just lazy and you don't want to put in the work to build your business, and that's on you. But like if you have a list of shit that you're doing that really is not moving the needle, then that's when you actually need to hire.
And sometimes it's the reverse. Yeah. And I don't think people talk about that enough. Sometimes you find the person that loves what they do. I mean, that's the goal in life, right? Like you don't go to work every day. You get to live your passion.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, I have to scale this company and everybody's telling me to step out. And you're doing all the on the business, but you forget to do in the business. Sometimes people are born to stay in the business and they just need support on the business. Yes. And so those are two different aspects of it as well. So I just challenge people, like, don't always go with the trend. Is leverage the answer? Yes. Is a clearly defined operating system the answer? Yes. But who you are as a person and your own self-awareness is going to guide what that looks like.
Okay, we're going to take this into a coaching call, can we?
I love it.
Okay, cool. Without saying obviously specifics. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what I think, and then you're going to tell me if I'm an idiot.
Yes.
So obviously SCM is like a well-oiled machine, right? Yeah. And me and Elena sat down last Friday and we literally did pen to paper wall strategy build out. It was amazing. Yep. Went to Pastor Shan, got completely out of Covington mental state over there. It was great. Got her job description really defined as we gave her promotion. We got all of our content creators. Yay. Got everybody else a job description, exactly what they need to be doing, and then a potential executive assistant. Okay. Because I know with what I'm acquiring, it's going to make me, I have to be in that business for a while to understand all the facets, because if I want to grow it to what we've talked about me growing it to, like I kind of have to know how it works.
Right.
So instead of me going in as like I need to work on the business, I need to work in the business. So that's me setting up SCM to work beautifully without me in it, maybe once, twice a week, while I'm fully integrated into the place I'm acquiring. Is that like the okay mindset? Wrong mindset?
Absolutely. I mean, you're still going to wear a hat in SCM.
Well, yes. I'm not going to walk away. That's my baby.
Right, exactly. Hello. So you're like, you're still going to be part of it, but you're not going to be part of the day-to-day operations. And that's when you actually have a business. People that come to me and they say all the time, like, I've been having this business, so I have a well-oiled machine. I'm like, how long can you leave for vacation? Can you go to Hawaii tomorrow for a month? Can you?
I can, yes.
All right, you have a business. Congratulations. Like, you can make that statement. Most of the time they hesitate, right? And they say that they can't. But that's why we had that conversation, was like, all right, Shelby, like, you can take this next step. You can take this risk. But what was the first question I asked? Like, do you intend to operate this business? right?
And at first,
Because you
I
have
was
to
dumb.
prepare for it.
And I was like, no, I'm just going to hire people to blah, blah, blah.
But you
I'm like,
don't.
that's
But you
silly.
don't intend to operate it, right? You're going in to train and learn.
I want to learn it. So if case that person leaves,
correct.
I'm not in a bind.
But you don't intend to
No.
operate it. But you know in the short term that you had to prepare for you to be more removed from your existing business to allow you to do that. That's what
I
serial
feel like you
entrepreneurship
and
is.
Becky and like should be so proud of me.
I am.
Right
a lot
now.
of growth.
No, wait for it.
Okay, well, shit.
I want to go into the new business and input SOPs. Like what? Like who is she, everyone?
That's
And like I
favorite
could have
word.
never done what I want to do a year ago with SCM because we didn't have the proper
Yeah.
SOPs. We didn't have the proper systems in place. Like nothing. Literally, I could not have left.
And how much easier is it to scale with everything defined?
Oh my God.
It's like, hey, just do these things and it's all written right
Like
here.
it's literally in this video. Watch it. It's either written on this document, implement it. If you have a question, let us know. You can email us and whatever.
Right.
Like cut the phone call, cut the crap.
So
Like,
when people are bitching at me, telling me, no, like I don't have time, I can't do that. There's no way I can put this in writing. I've been doing this for too long. What do you tell them? Bullshit.
bullshit. Time is money, baby. What are your goals?
It's like the kids, but they're like, here, you can have this marshmallow now, or you can wait a minute and get two, right? Write the damn SOPs and get the 2 marshmallows.
I've
Be done.
I just feel like I'm a grown up now because I've been listening to y'all for 3 years, like drill it into my head. Remember when we I wish Becky's just right over here, everybody that's watching this.
Hey, Becky.
Hey, she's next. She's up next. Remember when we went to dinner or lunch or whatever we did and we drew out? It was a long time ago, and I was like, oh, and then I got scared and then I didn't do it, and then I put I'm not going to say what I was going to say next. We'll say that
You
off
did
here,
it.
and then it just wasn't the correct time. Okay. Anyway, I'm just like proud of like how far it's come. But so like for y'all, kudos to y'all for like just drilling it into my brain that welcome to real business 4 years later, Shelbs.
The foundation of business doesn't change. And that's why, like, stop complicating it. It doesn't. It has you focusing on you, being truly self-aware, learning to lead so that you can draw the right people in.
Yes.
But everybody just wants to start with the fun stuff first and not the foundation. When you have that basis of these are my values, this is my purpose and my identity of what I want to put out there, this is my ideal client. When you're comfortable talking about those things and communicating, that's when you can make quick decisions. When you can make decisions, you can scale. Like indecision fatigue shuts down businesses all day, every day.
Yeah, and like what's one piece of advice? I already feel like I already know this because I feel like we have touched on it, but I wanted you to be very clear and to the point, obviously. If someone's like, well, I don't have time because like I feel like I'm always in my business. Like I don't have time to step away and write SOPs or to find someone to job or no one's ever gonna like be able to duplicate me. Like what would your advice be to that?
Fine, stay in your hamster wheel, bitch. No, I'm kidding. I would say like, yeah, then you don't want to change, right? Einstein's definition of insanity, keep doing the same thing every day and expecting something to change. It's not going to. So like, I'm happy to support you in what that looks like. I call it a hard stop. Like if somebody comes to me consistently and I'm like, you need a hard stop. Do you need me to help you do that? I'll block your whole day, bring you here. I'll walk you through it. I'll put you in a room or a straitjacket, whatever you need. But
Whatever you need, I'm here for you.
You need a hard stop so that you can focus on the business to make in the business manageable.
You consult and advise across industries. What makes your approach to business strategy unique? And how do you blend legal knowledge with real world leadership advice?
So lawyers suck, right?
And they're not your typical lawyers. They're guys that have hair. Okay, next.
I very few I can be friends with. No, I mean, a large reason why we have Arena Collective, like I've been practicing law, our 16th year now, Bex, like, and we've been in business law pretty much the entire time. And I hate the way lawyers approach business because it is, how can I look at compliance and these legal solutions for you? And while I entirely obviously value that, they forget the practical aspect and approach to business. And so I like to call myself an entrepreneur. Random term.
You should get a
because
hat
I'm
made.
freaking pro business, right?
Mhm.
You're not going to come to me and say, I have this business issue and I'm going to be like, here's all these legal things that are going to slow everything down. Or I have this acquisition and in order for this to work, like we need to do this in 2 weeks. I'm not going to be like, oh, that's not possible. No, it's never no. It's just how. And I'm fine with paving that way so that business can move forward so our communities can be supported by the best. And I mean, again, I just don't see a lot of other firms offering that balance of practical versus legal approaches.
I don't even know if I know another firm that offers both, but also
They
again,
struggle to
I'm
do it. I
really bred to know just Arena Collective.
Right. You literally.
Literally brainwashed. I'm kidding.
But we had a call on the way here, and we have this creative contract that we're putting together. And they're like, okay, so it's legal, it's enforceable. And I'm like, yeah, bruh. But also, Like, I'm going to tell you right now, don't expect us every single time to advise you to pursue this in the court of law. There are going to be instances where this is going to be enough of a deterrent, and what we're writing into this is going to be a practical advantage for you to move forward without the legal costs. That's the freaking win.
Yeah.
Right? Not having a budget for legal fees.
No.
It's amazing because there's a cost to doing business today because sometimes people suck, right? And so, like,
me and Becky want to talk about it.
You have that challenge, and I think that a lot of firms miss the boat on that, and that is what makes us unique.
I feel like a lot of people are just scared to say, like, I'll tell you right, like, my personal attorney, like, I feel kind of, honestly, like, what is the meme I sent to you once? I think it was like, I went to law school so my friends could say, let me just call my attorney friend or something. I don't know what it is.
She wears a shirt that says Shelby is my client. It's like every Thursday, I'm like, take the shirt off.
Yes. I love it. I like feel like such a bad bitch.
Wait, I forgot. I'm not going to be funny because I'm not funny. I crack myself up. But
I crack myself up. Nobody thinks I'm funny. So
not,
we can like be funny together.
Yeah, but when Becky gets here, it's like, oh, she. Right.
Oh my. Okay, so when I saw you, screw the cards. When I saw you in real life, literally the other day, it's like, oh my God, when I met you for the first time ever, when I saw you in real life the other day and we were doing what did we call it? The workshop outside with the business owners? God, your life is so busy. Can you remember?
Oh, yes, okay. Continuing education event.
It's like, can you just
remember? Like, hey, sponsors, get your shit together. And it was great.
And you were like on freaking fire, and I was like, whoop whoop, and I was like, who's this crazy girl over there? And I'm like, duh, when people speak you need to give them like some like ammunition. But also I was there for your sassiness. So like I want to take a little moment to just talk about the importance of marketing and branding your business and understanding who the hell your ideal client is, why the hell you're doing it. Like, can you just kind of segue into that and tell us like the importance of it from like a legal and business consulting perspective?
Like, it just makes sense. Stop wasting your time and wasting your money. Like, we have so many people that come to us, and it's like the spaghetti at the wall approach, because they literally look at me when I tell them, who's your ideal client? And they're like, why wouldn't I want to work with everybody? It's like, I'm not telling you not to work with everyone, but I'm telling you that time is your most valuable resource, and you have a limited amount of money to get this dang business started. So let's put it behind a particular person that you want to impact, right? A person that aligns with your values, so you don't go to bed at night being like, I hate my client list. No, put your energy out there and say, this is who I am. And you do that by saying, these are my values. This is my purpose. This is what I want to provide to the community. And people will be drawn to that. And then you decide based on your ideal client, where are they located? Where are they getting their information? And you can make that targeted approach and get that return that you're looking for. I'm exhausted with the people that waste their time, energy, and resources, their money, just throwing spaghetti at the wall for no reason.
What do you have to tell people that have just stupid excuses all the time?
I don't have time for you. Like I love people deeply, and so I'm going to tell them how I feel. But like, if you don't want to help yourself, I can't help you. Right? There's resources available to everyone today, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we have AI at our fingertips. We can search anything that we want to search. You have the ability to be a better you every single day, whether it's from a leadership standpoint, whether you want to perfect your skill, whether you want to be better at the service that you're providing. You can choose to do that. So if you just want to be lazy, you want to watch Netflix, right? You want to hang out with people that are victims and complain, by all means do that. But like, I don't have the energy to waste on you.
Oh my God, you're giving me more questions. What do you think about how do I structure this? It's really the easiest question, but when people say like you are who you hang out with?
Yeah.
What is your advice to people that hang out with, I don't want to say like, okay, that's really harsh. I'm not going to say it that way. Okay. What is your advice on that then?
It's funny. Like my dad used to tell me that as kids. I'm like,
because you are like,
why don't you like my friends?
Right?
Their shorts are too short. That was my crew. No, okay. I do wholeheartedly, and again, this comes from a place of awareness, wholeheartedly believe that you can be influenced by the people around you, right? If you're not careful. So I would say know that. But at the same time, like, I don't rate my friends and measure them. And sometimes I am just committed to helping them grow as well, just like they're committed to helping me grow. So, I want to be very careful and clear to say that, like, I love people that are scarred. Because the people that are scarred have gone through something difficult and they're willing to work through a challenge. Those are the people that are willing to help themselves. I'm not looking for perfect friends, right? I'm looking for people that understand that they want to be a better person every single day. If you're that person, I can get behind that, right? I don't want to be, the smartest person in the room. Yes, I want to be around people that are more skilled than I am. Yes, I want to learn from them. But I also think that I can learn from somebody that has never been to grad school, from somebody that maybe didn't even go to college. Like, everybody shows up. If you're showing up as your best version of yourself, I mess with you.
Yeah. More so like the people too that like crush your soul and dreams. Like if you, for example, if I go to someone, I'm like, I want to make SCM a $5 million company in 5 years. And they're like, you're psycho. Like, how do you think you're going to do that? Like, I'm not going to let my
just
energy
put them in a box. Like,
right.
Those aren't my visionary supporters, but they could be incredible people that do other wonderful things in life. And it is an opportunity for me to expand their mind.
Yeah.
Also, like, I'm always paying attention to, again, their disc assessment. If you're close to me, I'm going to ask you to take the assessment.
What am I again, Lauren?
Yeah. What? And then, like, their upbringing. You know, like I have this conversation with my husband, like he has such an appreciation for my family because their entrepreneurship opened his eyes as to what's possible because he wasn't exposed to it.
Yeah.
Do you understand the beauty in that? And like you're providing that development. But just because he wasn't exposed to it, if I hadn't taken the chance on that loser and said yes when he was working at Cane's, you know, where would we be today?
I love you so much with like... We just never know. You never know this.
Totally not a loser. He's amazing.
Okay,
He's cute.
We're going to pivot a little bit just because like I'm about to do this, so I'm going to pick your brain. Not that I just don't call and ask y'all already and annoy you, but hey, we're here doing it again. We're going to talk about acquisitions because I know nothing. I think it's such like a cool word.
Jam. I love it.
Such a cool word. I'm like, oh my God, acquisition. Anyway.
You're supposed to say acquisitions and mergers. But you're not merging. You're acquiring.
Okay, so maybe not. Maybe we're just going to stick with acquisition.
All right.
Only one cool word at a time, Lauren, please.
Yes, all right.
Okay,
all right.
cool.
Next time.
All right, there's so many questions about it, but I know we only have a few minutes left. But okay, what do people underestimate about the emotional and relational side of acquisitions because it's not just numbers?
It's not numbers because usually, especially with small businesses, you're acquiring someone's baby. And would somebody easily give up their child? No, adoptions are hard. It's the same thing. And then also there's the transition that lends to the success of the new business owner, meaning that seller is still part of the business for a period of time, transitioning relationships, teaching you about the business so that it really can scale to another level. And you're coming in saying, I'm going to change all this shit, right? And so understanding that everybody is coming in with an open mind, being humble, and there's an agreed upon plan of what that looks like, that is a successful acquisition when it comes to a small business. People that just want to jump in, here's a number, I want to throw it at you, it's going to look a lot different. And I'm not saying that doesn't work. That works for some people when they're not trying to keep employees, right? When they actually want to change the branding, when their clientele maybe doesn't matter as much, they're more acquiring the equipment or the intellectual property aspect of the business. So it all looks different. But if you truly want a smooth transition, you want to keep the people involved, and that seller is required to transition the relationships, then you'll have to be on the same page. And we even, Becky and I support this like dating, if you will. Like how many times are y'all going to have these conversations? A lot and often. And, I don't want all the conversations to be between the lawyers. I would love for us to all be in the same room and talk about practically what this looks like after the point of sale, right? When everybody's on that same page, you have a much higher rate of success.
Like, I'm going to be honest just because I'm vulnerable all the time. I think it just scares me a little bit because it's something I've never done. But, like, what you said earlier was, like, business is the basic fundamentals of business. Doesn't matter if it's online or, there is obviously different if it's digital versus brick and mortar, obviously, with the assets that you have. But, like, it's the basic fundamentals. Would you agree?
Right. SOPs are still important.
They're still important. And
accountability is still important. Knowing what you're good at and what you're not, still important. Understanding that you're going to need leverage to grow. Applies to every industry. We represent everything from like software developers to healthcare companies to product development. To like some quasi-pharmaceutical product. Like it is all over the place. And that's what people ask us, like, do you know this industry? And I'm like, I will.
Like, don't question me. I got you, boo-boo. I got you.
That part's not going to change.
Okay.
So yeah, when you buy this business, it's going to be amazing.
You know what? Like, I really do think it is. And, like, I was talking to Becky the other day. And, like, if you're not, like, nervous or you fear, then that means you're not really excited about it. Like, I would think. But also what I keep going back to is, what's the worst that could happen if I fail? Right, Becky? Everyone's going to think you're a loser.
Ew. Like, it's those moments.
Do you remember that?
I do.
When I was on the call and John was literally on the other side of the computer and he about died.
But, like, the funniness behind it, though, it's a legit thing that Becky and I do with all of our clients. Like, we truly get them to, when they're having, indecision problems, it's like, let's literally talk about worst case scenario. If you are comfortable with it, frickin' jump. Like,
Just
we've
do it.
got you. Because in most cases, we've got you. And you're
Right.
going to be okay. And that potential benefit is worth the risk of worst case scenario. So, like, while it is hilarious, it is a wonderful tool to use.
You
at
need
all
to put
times.
that on a
And nobody
t-shirt.
cares if other people think you're a loser, as long as you don't think you're a loser.
I don't think I'm a loser. I'm be like, I just learned from this. How can we recover?
I mean, you are a high I, so
What does that mean?
You got a little people pleaser in you.
I do. I'm getting
You do
better.
care.
Do you think I'm getting better?
You are tremendously. But again, that's the awareness point, right? Like, people always come and I'm like, oh my gosh, you must be great at sales. People are going to love you. Like, because that's what y'all do. Like, my husband's a high I as well. Like, obviously I love
I hate sales.
But at the same time, it's the first people that are like, I don't care what people think about me. And I'm like, yeah, you do.
Oh, what am
Like-
I again? An I and a what?
ID.
What is a D?
You're driven people that are goal oriented and want to, accomplish things
Clearly.
fast. Yeah.
Fast.
Yeah,
Oh boy, here we go.
and then those eyes, like, y'all are amazing at being like, oh my gosh, yes, that's the plan. Like, all hands in. Like, I'm so excited. Let's freaking roll. And then, like, you just don't do the shit behind it unless somebody is, like, really pushing you to do it. Which, again, you got that element of the D supporting you to, like, actually get it
Yes.
done, which is awesome.
And I've learned too,
you're
girls
lucky.
only in this room, obviously, is like the period of my cycle is like, I want to burn it all down. I hate everything. I'm not going to be able to do it. And then I'm like, okay, wait, never mind. And then I look at the
Right,
freaking
which
calendar.
is never an excuse. I have a lot of godchildren. And my
No,
oldest
you're
one-
going to be like, Shelby, shut it up. And
No,
stop.
like, she called me one time to check her out of school because she had cramps. And I was like, oh, girl, you done called the wrong person.
This is just the beginning.
Let me just
sweetie.
tell you when you got the right to vote, okay? It hasn't been long, and we are not using that as an excuse. So let's get going. And let's just stay after school and clean the campus, too. How about we do that? I was like, don't you dare
Oh my God, I'm
use
done.
that as an
So
excuse.
everybody listening to this, if you don't hire Lauren as your business coach, you're basically dumb.
Oh, yeah, agreed. Also, champagne.
And just bring her champagne and say, help me build this business. Okay, cool. Is there anything else you would like to tell the listeners about you and how awesome you are? Or about their business?
Not about me. I love watching you do what you do. I love how much you care about your clients and your people and the community. And that's why we're always willing to collaborate, right? There's just a synergy when you find the people that want to truly add value. And I commend you for that.
I want to cry.
Don't.
Okay.
We don't do that.
Yeah, we might.
No.
I'm about crying in the bathroom floor really ugly. And then
Really
get-
are. I watch your videos. I'm like, what the shit is she doing? Get up, Shelby.
Honestly, you do know that it has, you know what? It's a strategy.
Agreed. People love it. That's
It's
why
not necessarily to be weak. It's
I
just
will
to open the
never
conversation.
resonate with people the way you do because of that. And it's not
But
that I
you
don't
love
cry.
working with men.
And I don't care
hate
if
working
people-
with men.
Well, I have it sounds stupid when I say it, but like a masculine energy, right?
I mean, yeah. You're almost like Jillian that was here earlier. Like, she loves work. She's like sales. Like, she is like, I say it all the time. And she's like, why did you come up with the word monster? But whatever, who cares? Sales monster. And she's built this machine online. Like, it's like legit. But her energy is so like, I love working with men. And I'm to the point where like, I think I worked with men for so long that I just like hated it. And then I also feel like they intimidated me a little bit. So I'm like you said, why would you go to sleep at night and be like, I don't want to work with these people. Why do I work with them? But I do have, well, that actually is dumb that I just said that because I'm saying I do have a lot of men clients.
Yeah, and I have so many women business. I love them all. Like,
I think you do love them all.
I really do. I don't
even know what question.
I just, when my triggers, for my personality type is anger, not like being upset. So like, that's when you know that I'm
You
emotional.
should take up boxing.
Is I'm with anger. Well, I just know my triggers. And so like, instead of freaking out and thinking the world's ending, because we all have that moment, I'm just like, oh, bitch, you're mad. That's just how you are. Like, move on. What's the next step? What's the next item on my to-do list? And I try not to yell at people.
I text Merrick and I'm like, I need to punch you specifically.
Oh, nice.
You should get a boxing coach.
Jason would probably appreciate that because I just use him.
Yeah, Merrick did say, don't let her swing at you without being prepared. Because he actually let me hit him in the stomach.
Now you're a professional.
And now he's like, that kind of hurt. I was like, but I would probably run if someone tried to fight me. But hey, it's fine. We're here. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. And guys, Arena Collective, Lauren Avar was on the pod today. I feel like we could have talked forever. I kind of don't want you to leave. But now I'm about to bring
so I'm not leaving.
my best.
Your attorney.
My attorney. No one else is.
The only.
Listen, if you're my client, don't use her. Because if I ever have to like do something to you, like I need her on my team, not yours.
She has plenty of time.
I'm kidding. I will share. If you like this episode, please like, comment, share, tell a friend, hire Lauren, hire Arena. Thank you for tuning in. Lauren, wink at the camera. Okay. Do a high kick at the camera. Okay, we love you. Until next time, let's freaking get it.